Hello, and thanks for joining me on another video. It's another very hot and sticky day today, so I'm not feeling the best. I'm all hot and muggy and bothered. It's been affecting my sleep, so I'm probably looking a bit worse for wear. Bags under the eyes and slight sheen to me, sweating a bit. But apologies if I'm looking rough on camera. But yeah, it's been really tough. I recently did a video about being heat sensitive, and then ever since then, the temperatures just got hotter and hotter and hotter. And while today is definitely a cooler day, I'm still feeling the effects of it because I think the walls are still emanating their heat and radiating that. So, yeah, it's not been the best time, which is why this video has been a bit delayed because I just haven't been able to sit down and record anything. I've just been beside myself trying to get comfortable this whole time. Anyway, so before we get started on this video, I just wanted to quickly say, and I know every YouTube person will say the same thing, and it's all true, that liking and subscribing really helps. So if you like a video, it kind of tells me what hit and what didn't. If you subscribe, obviously, you'll get told when the next video is available. But more importantly than both of those things is if you can comment on videos that resonated, or if they didn't resonate, perhaps say why. And commenting, I think, is particularly useful to me because, as I've said, it's quite new to me being diagnosed ADHD and autistic, and I'm learning new stuff every day from other people and seeing how that applies to my life in ways I didn't really know. And yeah, by having sort of comments on the videos, it kind of opens up a bit of discussion. And it's quite nice, I think, to be able to sort of talk back to people who perhaps experience the same things I'm talking about. So anyway, if you can like, subscribe, comment, any or all of those, that'd be great. So anyway, let's get started with the video, which is all about sleep, and more specifically, poor sleep, because poor sleep has been a factor in my life, my entire life. So from the age of about 5 or 6, I used to struggle to get to sleep. And I remember my mum used to sort of rub the back of my hand very consistently and rhythmically. And that would, I think, settle my brain and allow me to then drift off to sleep. Whereas nowadays, my problem isn't that I can't fall asleep. It's that I can't make myself go to bed. So it can be 2 a.m. and I'll still be looking at my list of things I want to do before I go to bed. Still got to get up for work or school drop off in the morning. And I just can't bring myself to go to bed because I always find it, if I go to bed, I'm just going to be unconscious. I'm not going to enjoy that because I'm not conscious. I'm just going to wake up in the morning more refreshed for having gone to bed now rather than in another hour. And then that's never enough incentive to make myself go to bed. The prospect of being tired doesn't make me go to bed. So I end up just doing more fun things until I eventually get so tired that I feel like, well, these things aren't fun anymore because I'm too exhausted. And that will be the prompt then to go to bed. So I think it's quite common for poor sleep to be a factor in many neurodivergent people's lives. And for me, I would guess it's more ADHD that keeps you from going to sleep than it is autism. Although I think autism can play a part as well, because I definitely have the thing where once you start something, it's very difficult to put it down when you're in that very monotropic, focused state. You just want to see things through to completion. And often the things that I will be very monotropically thinking about and doing will be programming tasks or making an app. And when you make an app, obviously that's not something you can do in one night, but the tasks can be broken down into things that can be done in one night. So often you'll be like, okay, I just want to get this particular feature done or something, and then you'll spend the whole time doing that, and you cannot tear yourself away from it until you've done to completion everything that task involves. So yeah, I do think autism can play a part for me in not going to bed, but more often than not, it's the dopamine seeking, I think, where I look at my list and I think, well, I could go to bed, not going to enjoy that because I'll be unconscious, or I can go and play Overwatch for a couple of rounds. And then a couple of rounds turns into 10 rounds, and that's another hour gone at least. And you look at your time and you think, well, I'm getting 4 hours sleep. I'll just do one more game or one more thing on my project, and then I'll go to bed. And then often it gets so late, eventually you're so tired, you think, well, I've got to go to bed. And you think, well, actually, I've still got 15, 20 minutes of getting ready for bed. I've got to brush teeth and floss and all that kind of stuff. And then you're like, wow, I wish I'd done this a bit sooner. Once you're now tired, you kind of have a lot of regret. But no amount of regret ever changes your pattern. So I guess probably one of the last things I wanted to talk about was how poor sleep can impact your relationships with people around you. Because I have always gone to bed late and then woken up in the morning, and first thing in the morning, I'm always like complaining I'm really tired, but not in a really complainy way. I might just comment that like, oh, I feel so exhausted. And my ex-partner would always kind of annoy me by saying, well, you shouldn't have gone to bed so late, as if I had a choice. And I know technically, yes, I had a choice. I could have gone to bed earlier. And I chose to get on with other things, but it doesn't feel like a choice. When you're in that moment of like not really having any excitement about going to bed, but tons of exciting things on your list to do tonight still, and it's 2 a.m, I've still got all this stuff I want to do. It's like you're just compelled to do the things that you want to do, and that's just not going to sleep. But then you do suffer in the morning for it. So, it's understandable that the person around you might say, well, that's your fault. You shouldn't have gone to bed so late. But at the same time, it's quite annoying to hear that because, yeah, it doesn't feel like I chose to do such things. Often as well, when I've stayed up late to work on a project that benefits the whole family because it's an income generating project, yeah, I chose to stay up late to complete it, but for the benefit of everyone in this family. So to hear the person telling you that, you shouldn't have gone to bed late, it's your fault kind of thing, it's never been very nice. And yeah, the trouble is, though, with waking up super tired is you do kind of go into this low power mode and zombie state. And then it kind of just means you lose your sense of presence. And I talked about that in the past and how I never realised how little sense of presence I had when doing things like zoo trips and stuff like that. I was aware, like, I'm just this empty shell walking around. But it wasn't until I started taking something called rhodiola that kind of snapped me out of that zombie state and made me see just how non-present I was, and then also what presence really feels like. And it, kind of quite overcome with guilt in a way when that happened. And I think, yeah, possibly that sort of zombie state is most likely brought on by poor sleep and lack of sleep. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to hear in the comments what other people feel, what their sleep patterns are like as a neurodivergent person. Do you struggle, and is it for the same reasons that I do? How does it affect your relationships and that kind of thing? Because, yeah, as I say, poor sleep has always been a negative impact in my life, but also has allowed me to get on with projects that I wouldn't have been able to complete in my normal waking hours. So I think, yeah, it's a blessing and a curse to be able to stay up late. It means you can get stuff done. You can pursue the things that you enjoy, but it comes at a cost, and probably brain health is one cost, but cost of relationships is another. So yeah, be interested to hear how that kind of thing affects you. And I'm going to leave it there because looking at the time, I have to head out, pick my son up from school. And I don't know if there's much more I want to say on the matter. But yeah, have a great rest of the day. Cheers. Bye.